Hi, I'm Brittany sitting down with Mike Sexton. Mike, I'm a brand new player, a poker newbie you would say. What advice would you give to a brand new player?
Well, the first advice I would give to them is to study the game as much as possible before you start playing a lot of poker. There's so many books and things out there now that you can read and become a good player before you ever sit down and play the first time. And I'd recommend studying the game, get familiar with a lot of books, and of course, when you start playing poker, experience is the key. And it takes experience to play where you get comfortable playing in certain situations. But certainly educating yourself on the game would be the number one thing I'd recommend.
Definitely, that's great advice. What's the most common mistake you see a brand new player make?
The biggest mistake that the average player makes, or the amateur player makes, I should say, is that he calls his money off too much. In other words, in poker, it's all about betting. The bettor has a big advantage over a guy that's calling, because the bettor has two ways he can win a pot. He can win a pot by betting, and the guy will throw his hand away, and he can win a pot by betting when the guy calls if he has the best hand. When you call, there's only one way you can win a pot. You must have the best hand. So in terms of simple math, you need to understand that betting gives you a 2-to-1 advantage in poker over calling. And once you understand that concept, you can be a much better poker player. But what happens is most amateur players call their money off. Somebody bets, they check, and the guy bets, they call. They check, he bets, they call, which is the worst style of poker you can play, calling your money off. So that's the biggest mistake I see players making, playing too many hands that they shouldn't play.
Definitely. What would you recommend for a brand new player, like their first goal to be?
Well, the first goal to be, I say if you're going to play online, I recommend a single table tournament, say $5 or $10, where you don't invest much money, but you get a good feel of how to play the game. And obviously when you're starting out playing poker, you need to play smaller limits, where you can afford to play and get adjusted to the game before you move up in stakes.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Okay, my pleasure.